you, Mr. Top.
Look no, put your puzzle to the grindstone and do it yourself. You want something done? Up.
Hello, it's the Jareeve, your friendly neighborhood Oscar complainer. So I was tagged to do this childhood trauma video for Movie Outhouse, and I thought long and hard about what to talk about. For those who don't know me personally, I am not a big fan of the horror genre, whether it be film, television, literature, or any other similar medium. As a youngin', not only was I not allowed to watch many of the more explicit horror films, but I also didn't watch many of the ones I could have just because I wasn't really interested. As an adult, I have much more of an appreciation for horror, but there's still a decent amount of apathy when it comes to the genre. Of the things I shall discuss, only one of them could technically be considered horror. And none of these are necessarily children's things, as most of them are adult-level stuff that I saw as a kid or younger teenager. So without further ado, here's the Jareeve's Childhood Trauma. Growing up, my mother loved watching Little House on the Prairie, and as a result, I have seen a majority of the episodes. On family vacations over the years, I've actually stopped at some of Laura Ingalls Wilder's homes, which are historic sites, including a dugout home in Walnut Grove, Minnesota, where the show takes place. On one of these trips, my mother purchased the first 3 seasons of the show, which my siblings and I watched on our portable DVD players in the back seats. Upon our arrival home, we would occasionally watch an episode or two for fun. One night, my brother and I came across an episode that freaked us out. The 5th episode of Season 3 is The Monster of Walnut Grove, and the story was about how Laura witnessed Nels Olson, the local shop owner, apparently cut off his wife's head with an antique sword he's bought. The audience already knows that it was a mannequin that Nels decapitated, but poor Laura, in the spirit of Halloween night, believes it to be real. Already, some of you may think that this part was the one that traumatized me. Nope. It happens a little later in the episode. Now remember, my brother and I are youngins, and it's late at night during the summer and probably raining outside. Laura has a nightmare about Nels, and the audience gets to see it. The frame has some weird, fuzzy stuff around it, and the music gets really eerie sounding. Laura and her friend Carl are sitting at a table where a very unsettling image of Nels stands over them and smiles as he lifts a cover to reveal the dinner he's serving is Harriet, his wife's, head. Now the severed head thing wasn't the freaky thing, it was Nels' face and the overall atmosphere. For the next few days, at night, I'd blink or turn around in the dark, and that would be the face I see. So yeah, not something you want following you around. As the years have passed, it didn't quote-unquote scare me, but I still feel a bit uneasy when I see Nels' face. Ugh. Okay, I did something many of you probably haven't seen, so now I'll move on to something I'm pretty sure most of you have seen. I remember being about 4 or 5 years old the first time I was treated to Steven Spielberg's E.T. All I knew about the film at the time was that my older cousin loved the film and that many people had wanted to watch it one night. Well, none of the stuff you'd think be scary for a kid scared me at all. Out of everything that happened, it was the defibrillation things the doctors used once E.T. was, sorry for the spoilers for anyone, dying. The groaning and yelling and crying and the little alien body shooting up when the rubby, shocky things shocked him was too much. And then his dried out, palish body lying there dead really didn't sit well with me. The movie, while a bittersweet ending, didn't make me feel any better, and I recall trembling at the end. It's a weird thing to be traumatized by, and it doesn't bother me in the slightest these days, but it made me stay away from E.T. for a good long while. Everyone knows all about the Twilight Zone. Its eerie, strange sci-fi universe crafted great stories with great atmosphere, and I'm pretty sure there's a sizable amount of people that were genuinely scared if they watched when they were younger. As for me, this show never truly scared me, but like the previous things I've mentioned in the video, it made me feel uneasy. And this next one still makes me just a wee bit uneasy. The episode Perchance to Dream is the 9th episode from Season 1 of the original series, and I saw this as a young lad on one of those late-night channels. I remember half paying attention at first, but then I was drawn into the story because the main character was in a lose-lose situation. This character, Edward Hall, has a heart condition, and he's nearly escaped having heart attacks in his sleep because of a reoccurring dream where a dancer named Maya lures him into a funhouse at a circus. Because his imagination is out of control, Edward believes he'll die if he goes to sleep. When he goes to see Dr. Rathman, Edward hasn't slept in days, and if he doesn't sleep, he'll have a heart attack. Basically, he'll die either way in the end. As a kid, this terrified me because the thought of being trapped like this wasn't necessarily ideal. The episode even gives a classic Twilight Zone-esque twist when Maya looks just like the doctor's receptionist, and Rathman says that Edward came in, fell asleep, and a minute later jumped out the window. Like I said, it doesn't bother me as much as it used to, but I still kept thinking about this episode long after my initial viewing. So there you have it, the Jareeve's childhood trauma. Again, none of these are technically children's things, as many children's shows and movies didn't scare me. I guess I had a pretty odd and boring childhood when it comes to horror. But I will say that Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, the book series that Nick Spheres covered in his video, did scare me a good amount as a kid. Check out his video too if you haven't. For those of you who don't know my channel or content, I cover the Oscars and everything that you can complain about them. And check out my other videos if you are interested. Oh! And since this is an Oscar-based channel, I might as well show you all something that didn't traumatize me as a child, as I was too young, but still haunts me to this day.
And the Oscar goes to... Shakespeare in Love.
Again, this is the Jareeve, like and subscribe, and I guess I have to tag someone now for their own childhood trauma video. Big surprise, I picked my good old buddy old pal, Magnus Prophecy. See you later.